Do you know what Shanks' goal is? Or what about Luffy? Is his true dream and goal really to become the king of the pirates? Well, not really. So that's exactly why we're going to break down what all One Piece characters' goals are in this video. Starting with the first character, Roronoa Zoro, and I think we all know his goal: to become the world's strongest swordsman. This dream started with a promise he made to his childhood friend, Quina. They both swore to become the strongest. But when Quina tragically passed away, or rather killed by down D stairs, Zoro's determination only grew stronger. He vowed he'd carry their dream forward and claim the title of the greatest swordsman in the world. Throughout the series, we've seen how nothing will stop Zoro from reaching his goal, not even his pride. He was willing to bow down to Mihawk, the current #1, to train under him and get stronger. But what's even more impressive? Zoro's loyalty. He was ready to sacrifice his dream and even his life to protect Luffy. Alright, next up is Whitebeard, the legendary Yonko, who didn't care about treasure or power. He simply wanted a family. Growing up as an orphan in a poor village, Whitebeard became a pirate at a young age to help support the people back home. But along the way, he dreamed of something bigger, bringing together lonely and lost souls to form a crew where everyone felt like they belonged. At first, he sailed with the infamous Rocks Pirates, but after Rocks fell at God Valley, Whitebeard struck out on his own and formed the Whitebeard Pirates. His dream turned his ship into a true home, and his crew became his family. Literally. He called them his sons. He even made an exception for Oden, who he proudly called his brother. Moving on, we have Boa Hancock, the Pirate Empress, who is one of the most powerful women in the world. But her ultimate goal? To marry Luffy. Despite her cold and ruthless reputation when it comes to Luffy, she turns into a blushing, love-struck mess. It's kind of amazing how someone so strong can melt into a puddle just thinking about this guy. Do you guys think Boa and Luffy will eventually end up together? Give me a comment down below what you think. Next up is Koby, the former cabin boy of the Alvida Pirates, who dreams of becoming a powerful marine admiral. When Luffy saved Koby from Alvida's ship, he inspired him to follow his dream of joining the Marines. And after going through Garp's intense training and having one of the most insane glow-ups in anime history, he now wants to be just as strong as Luffy, becoming a fearsome admiral. But although he wants to become an admiral, Koby's goal isn't about power. It's about protecting people and making the world a better place. Now, we have Big Mom, and her goal is to create a country where all races can live together in harmony. Sounds nice, right? But here's the thing. It's Big Mom we're talking about, so her methods are anything but peaceful. She's all about forcing people to join her utopia, like she tried to do with Brook, as he's, well, let's just say special. But underneath all the chaos and her terrifying power, you can see the faint glimmer of a dream that started with good intentions. As when she was a kid, she was abandoned by her parents on Elbaf, and later taken into an orphanage run by Mother Carmel. And here, she became inspired to create a world where no one feels left out. Although, this backstory turned into a nightmare very quickly. Let's talk about Bonney, and her big goal is to find the legendary sun god, Nika. When she was just a kid, Kuma used to tell her stories about Nika, a being with a rubber body who could do anything he wished. Little Bonney was completely amazed by this hero-like figure, and from that moment, she dreamed of one day meeting Nika herself. Fast forward to the present, and guess what? She actually found him. Turns out the sun god Nika is none other than Luffy. Well, kinda. Thanks to his Hito Hito no Mi model Nika powers. When Bonney realized that the boy in the straw hat was the very figure she'd been searching for all her life, she broke down in tears of relief. Next up, we've got red-haired Shanks, and his goal? To keep the balance in the world. What do I mean by that? Well, Shanks isn't after chaos or destruction. He's focused on keeping things in check and stopping people with bad intentions, like Blackbeard, from getting their hands on the One Piece, while wanting a suitable successor to finally find the treasure, which is probably Luffy. So, although he told Beckman that it's time for them to go get the One Piece, I don't believe that's his true goal. Now, Dracul Mihawk, the world's greatest swordsman. But his ultimate goal? To find a worthy opponent. With no one left to challenge him, Mihawk's waiting for the day someone can push him to his limits. It's not about fame or titles for him, it's all about the thrill of a real fight. When Mihawk fought Zoro at the Baratier, it was basically like swatting a fly for him. But even though Zoro was no match for him at the time, Mihawk saw Zoro's potential and we all saw the excitement he had on his face. So now, Mihawk just waits patiently for the day when Zoro, or someone else, can finally challenge him as a worthy opponent. Moving on to Akainu, the ruthless fleet admiral of the Marines who wants to kill all pirates. For him, there's no such thing as good pirates or bad pirates. They're all the same, and they all deserve to be wiped out. Driven by his twisted sense of justice, Akainu won't rest until every pirate is gone, no matter the cost. His brutal approach shows just how far he's willing to go to enforce his vision of the world, proving that, for him, the fight against piracy is personal and unforgiving. And we all know that he wants nothing more than to kill Luffy with his own hands. Well, as we just went over Akainu, I think we have to talk about Portgas D Ace, Luffy's brother and the son of Goldie Roger. Ace started his pirate journey with one goal in mind: to become the Pirate King. When he set sail at 17, he wanted to surpass his father, who he hated. But after he went after Whitebeard, his father's rival, and eventually lost, Ace's path changed completely. He eventually joined the Whitebeard Pirates, and that's when he found something he'd always wanted: a real father. So now his goals and dreams changed, from becoming the Pirate King himself to making Whitebeard the king of the pirates. To Ace, Whitebeard was the true king, someone who cared about family above all else. But unfortunately, he took both himself and his father down to the grave. I know, harsh words, but unfortunately, the truth. Now we have the second Straw Hat of the video, Sanji, the Straw Hat's charming chef, who has one big goal to being a pirate: to ultimately find the All Blue. So, what's the All Blue? It's a legendary sea where all the oceans meet, a place filled with every type of fish from every corner of the world. For Sanji, it's not just about cooking the perfect dish, it's about bringing all the world's flavors together in one place. This dream of his represents freedom, adventure, and the endless possibilities of what he could create if he could just find that perfect, mythical sea. Next up is Tashigi, the marine swordswoman who might not be as famous as some of the big names in the world of One Piece, but her goal: to collect all the legendary swords. Tashigi dreams of keeping these powerful blades out of the wrong hands, like when she didn't want Zoro to have Yubarashi, which was one of the 50 skillful grade blades. Even though she's up against some of the best swordsmen out there, her passion for these blades is unmatched. Someone who had 2 legendary swords himself was, of course, Kozuki Oden. And his ultimate goal? Well, I think we all already know what his goal was: to leave Wano and explore the world. Oden's heart was always set on adventure, so when Whitebeard and his crew got stranded on Wano, he begged Whitebeard to board his ship. But when Whitebeard refused, Oden had to ultimately hang on to the ship's chain for 3 days to be able to join. And although he failed as he saved Toki, he was let onto the crew. From that day forward, his goal of exploring the world became a reality, and he truly did explore the entire world. Now to the real Oden, Yamato, whose goal is, of course, to become like Oden. Ever since she learned about Oden's legendary journey, she's been inspired to live by his ideals and follow in his footsteps. Yamato wants to be someone who's strong and free, and to eventually leave Wano and explore the world just like Oden. But although she had the chance to leave, she stayed behind at Wano to protect the country. But my theory is that she will eventually join the crew, so all hope isn't lost just yet. Next up is Trafalgar Law, who has a pretty interesting goal: to find out the purpose of the Will of D. Law's been haunted by this mystery ever since his childhood, especially after the death of his mentor, Corazon. So, although he also of course wants to find the One Piece, he's obsessed with uncovering the truth behind the people who carry the D in their name and what it really means. It's a personal mission that ties into the biggest secrets of the world, and Law won't rest until he gets answers, no matter what it takes. Moving on to Buggy, the Clown Prince of Piracy, whose ultimate goal is to find the One Piece. Yeah, you heard that right. Buggy is dead serious about becoming the Pirate King. He's been chasing that treasure for years, and while he's not exactly the most competent pirate out there, he's got the drive and the ambition to eventually find it, as when he was a kid, he missed out on reaching Laugh Tale because he became sick, so nothing will stop him from reaching the end of the New World this time. Now we have Luffy's father, Monkey D. Dragon, the most wanted man in the world and the leader of the Revolutionary Army, who wants nothing else than to take down the world government. For Dragon, it's about freeing the oppressed and bringing down the system that's been controlling the world for centuries. With his army of revolutionaries, he's been plotting, striking from the shadows, and working to dismantle the corrupt powers that hold everyone down, giving the world a chance at true freedom. And with Oda coming out and pretty much saying that Dragon will make his long-awaited move very soon in the series, I can't wait to see Dragon's real power. Alright, let's start talking about the rest of the Straw Hat Pirates, starting with Usopp, who we all know wants to become a brave warrior of the sea. At first, he dreamed of being a pirate like his dad. Now he's all about protecting his crew and making a name for himself as a strong and fearless warrior. He's trying his best, like when he tried to save Nami and ended up getting headbutted, But honestly, he's got a long way to go before he's anything like the legendary giants of Elbaf. So let's see how his journey continues now that the crew is actually on Elbaf. Continuing with the Straw Hats, we have Jinbe, who has the ultimate goal of ending the discrimination against fishmen. Growing up in a world where his people were treated as trash, Jinbe's dream is to see a future where fishmen and humans live side by side, without hatred or prejudice. It's a goal that's shaped his every action, from his time as a warlord to his decision to join Luffy, as he sees Luffy as the one who will change the world. Next up, we have Franky, who has the same goal as Tom, his old mentor. Franky wants to build a ship that will sail around the entire world. Even though he originally thought he'd just build the ship and not be part of its crew, he's living the dream, sailing on the very masterpiece he created. Now we have Brook, whose ultimate goal is to of course reunite with Laboon, the giant whale he promised to come back to. After being separated for decades, Brook's heart is still set on keeping that promise. Even after everything he's been through, he hasn't forgotten Laboon, who is waiting for him back at the Reverse Mountain. Moving on to Nico Robin, the Straw Hat Crew's archaeologist, whose goal is to uncover the true history of the world. After everything she's been through, from the destruction of Ohara to being hunted by the world government, Robin is determined to decipher the poneglyphs and unlock the secrets of the Void Century. For her, it's more than just knowledge. It's about uncovering the hidden past and understanding the world's lost history, no matter the cost. It's a journey that could change everything, and Robin's not backing down. Now we have Robin's favorite Straw Hat, after Luffy of course, Tony Chopper. He may be small, but his dream is huge. He wants to cure any disease. After seeing so much suffering in his life, especially with his mentor Dr. Hiraluk, Chopper wants to be the kind of doctor who can heal anything, no matter how tough or rare the illness. Before we get to Luffy, we have to talk about Nami, the Straw Hat's brilliant navigator who wants to make a map of the entire world. After growing up in a small village and being stuck under Arlong's tyrannical control, Nami wants nothing more than to explore every corner of the seas and chart the unknown. Her dream is about freedom, adventure, and seeing the world in all its glory. And with every island the Straw Hats visit, she's one step closer to making her dream a reality. Alright, let's talk about the guy you've all been waiting for, Luffy. A lot of you probably think his ultimate goal is to become the king of the pirates, right? Well, not exactly. It's not that being Pirate King isn't Luffy's dream, but that's more like a step he needs to take to reach his real ultimate goal. Now, here's the thing. I don't actually have the answer you're looking for. The only people who know Luffy's true dream and goal are his brothers, his crew, and Yamato, since Ace told her about it. And every single person who's heard it either burst out laughing or was completely shocked. So please give me a comment below what you think Luffy's ultimate goal is. Thanks for watching, and watch this video next.